Hello, good evening, Aston Villa fans. Welcome to the Villa4Ever podcast. I am your host, Chad Williams. Before we get started, first of all, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Subscribing is completely free, and you can follow me on all audio platforms, wherever you get your podcasts from, including Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. This evening, I'm joined by my special guest, former Aston Villa striker, Garry Thompson, who has previously been on the show before. I'll be doing the pre-match talk show. Everton versus Aston Villa. Sunday is a 2 p.m. kickoff. It is the most played fixture in top flight football. And with the two teams, there been some very good games over the years. And I'm really looking forward to the game on Sunday. It's great to have you on the show again, Garry. How are you?
Thanks for inviting me. I'm good, thanks, Chad. Thanks for inviting me on.
No problem. Happy New Year.
And to you.
And you had a good Christmas, didn't you? With your family?
Yeah. My daughter came down from London, and obviously my son's got six children, and so obviously it was hectic. But like I say, my daughter come down as well, so yeah, the whole family thing. It was very nice, very expensive, but very nice.
And it goes really quick.
Yeah. You lose track of days as well. All you know is Boxing Day is football, and then you sort of lose track again, and then there's football again. But yeah, it goes really quick. Before you know it, you're back at work. But yeah, it was very good. It wasn't mad, but it was nice, and it was relaxed and pleasant. And the grandkids love it.
Well, I'm going to talk about the Middlesbrough game first.
Yeah.
In the FA Cup. Unai Emery's finally ended the third round curse. It's been 8 years it's took to get through to the fourth round. But it's been a long time coming. So what are your thoughts from that game?
Well, first of all, it was we're driving up there. It's myself, Matt Mayer, Tommy Marlowe, and Tom's a big Villa fan as well, so we're just discussing it. And didn't realise it was 8 years. And then we went over the games, the Wickham game and other games we got beat, obviously Man United and whatever. And you don't realise how long it's been. And some of the games where maybe we should have won. So you're going into the game, and you're not getting any trepidation, but you want Villa to get through. You want us to win the game and end this curse, as it were. But they coped pretty well with it, even though I thought Middlesbrough set up really well. And I watched them play the other night again against Chelsea, and they played really well, very well organised. Want to keep the ball, composure in good areas. But there was always the feeling, I think Conzer at the post with from a corner, there was always a feeling we would get the goal. Whereas with them, you always felt they might nick something on the counter, but they didn't look like concentrated attack they could give us problems. And it was just a question of keeping the ball, moving it. We got the goal, maybe a deflection from Matty Cash, but they all count. At the end of the day, you'd think on the balance of play, we had so much possession, maybe didn't cause as many problems as we should have done with that possession, but we had enough possession, deserved to win.
But it was all about getting the results.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really entertaining.
No.
I watched it at home.
Well, it's the same as the Chelsea game against Middlesbrough the other night. Middlesbrough set the stall out to keep it nice and compact, nice and tight, show composure when they're working the ball out from the penalty area or whatever. But they're not really got that much of a goal threat because they sat back so deep. Chelsea had a million passes, couldn't break them down. Villa were doing the same, loads of passes that couldn't break them down. We broke them down a couple of times, but we didn't get the goal. You get the goal, it opens up. They've got to come at you. Villa didn't get the goal, and the longer it went on, they kept thinking, we can get something here. As it turned out, if we get to, say, the quarterfinals, no one will look back and say, God, that game at Middlesbrough was boring, wasn't it? At the end of the day, get through. All you got to do is get through. Chelsea played Middlesbrough the other night. Middlesbrough winning 1-0. But if Chelsea win the return leg, no one's going to go on about it. Liverpool last night again, they won't talk about that. And be like, they're through. You're in the semis or whatever. That's what it's all about, winning.
I think what I like about the Villa team is they've got that winning mentality. It's Emery.
Yeah. He's instilled that in them. I mean, like you'd have seen Villa over the years, like myself, Chad, and there are times when you're watching games, think we're playing not too bad here, we're moving the ball quite well, and you always get the feeling something's going to happen. They're going to give away a goal, something's going to go up, and we're going to end up losing the game, walking away going, how did it happen? A bit like Stevenage last year. Didn't play particularly well, dominated the game, got beat. And then you watch us now, I was saying to Daz the other day, we find a way to win now. Even if we don't play brilliantly well, we still find a way to win.
That's the sign of a good team.
Exactly. And they all, I know they go, the cliche, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, good teams find a way to win. Whatever happens, because the opposition are not going to come and roll over for you. Yeah. I know Pep would love that to happen, but generally teams come and make it difficult. You've got to find a solution to the problem. We play Sheffield United. Sheffield United, they basically just sat in all night. And if Ollie Watkins gets the penalty that he should have been given after 5 minutes, it's a different game. We don't get the penalty. Sheffield United, Archer scores a goal with a few minutes to go. And all of a sudden, we're chasing a game that we have dominated. But you find a way to keep yourself in the game, get yourself back into the game. And like against Middlesbrough the other day, we find a way to win the game. And that is what it's all about. That's what people talk about at the end of the day. Oh, Villa won again. Like sometimes it's great when we beat Man City and we play really well. Or we find a way to win against Arsenal when at the end of the game, sort of last 20 minutes, the lads were shattered and the fans got them going again. And that link that Unai's been talking about with the fans and the players, you could see that come through. And it gave them the lads the extra spirit to keep going, to see the thing through. But not every game's going to be like Man City. Not every game's going to be like Arsenal. Yeah. Sometimes it's going to be dreadful. And you're going to walk away thinking, we won 2-1 though. And that's what it's all about.
Because fair play to Michael Carrick. Because Middlesbrough did do a good job against us.
Yeah.
I noticed like against teams like that, we seem to struggle against teams that sit back against us.
Yeah, but it's a new solution. We've got to find a solution to the problems. Other teams have watched Villa play, and I remember saying to Daz after the Sheffield United game, teams watch Villa all the time. And when you're scouting, you'll watch 4 or 5 games in advance and see what they do differently. So you've seen the Sheffield United game, you say, wait a minute. They kept them at bay for a long time. Maybe if we can catch them on the counter. And I think Everton will probably do a bit the same as well when we play them on Sunday. Teams will sit in now and think, okay, Villa will break them down. They'll have loads of possession. They've still got to break us down. The problem is, if we do get a goal, then they have to come out. If they have to come out, we'll pick them off. So you're just finding a solution to getting that first goal and opening the game up.
So you got a lot of teams like Forest and Sheffield United. And the Zawitsky Mostar game. We struggle to break them down.
Yeah, we're a work in progress. We've started out, and the progress we've made in the last year since Unai took over is unbelievable. If you look back at that, a year ago we'd have played that game before we got beat or we got a draw out of it. We've made massive progress, but teams will look and they'll say, okay, Villa are doing well now. They have a lot of possession-based side, keep the ball, do this, do that. We've got to find a way to beat them. No team's going to come to Villa Park and think, oh, we'll just roll over and they can get 3 points. They will make it difficult and now Villa players have to find a solution to win the game. So every game's going to be different. Every game's going to be difficult, and there'll be few teams that come to Villa, say like your Man City come to Villa Park, or I would say Man United, but they are poor at the minute. But someone that can come to Villa Park and say, come on then, let's go play a game of football. Not many teams do that anymore. The teams around the bottom are fighting for whatever points they can get. The mid-table teams will want to keep themselves in mid-table and maybe get towards the edge of the Conference League or whatever. And the top teams want to win the league or whatever, or get into the Champions League. So every situation is going to be difficult or different. And it's just up to us to find a solution. This is what it's all about. And that's what Unai is coaching the lads, educating the lads, teaching them to find different solutions to what will be a series of problems. Each problem will be different, but each team will give us a different type of problem.
With each team brings different challenges.
Yeah. And that's the mark of a good coach, because a good coach will look like Sean Dyche will have looked at the game the other night and he'll think, right, how can we mess Villa up? Now, Everton are a strong side, very organised, defensively very strong, but very, very good on set pieces. So he might look and think, well, just keep it tight. But if we get any set pieces, all of a sudden the delivery into the box, Calvert-Lewin, who's now available for the game. The
Yeah.
likes of Tarkovsky and people like that, they could cause us problems at set pieces if they have decent movement. So there'll be a different set of problems. Every game's a different set of problems. But the one thing I look at our players, and as you said, we find a way
Yes.
to win. We have players in that group now that are developing and getting better all the time. And the likes of Kamara show what a miss he was when he suspended for 3 games. We are getting better. Our players are developing, and we'll find a solution. We'll find a way to get the result. We won't win all the time, and every now and again with a high line, we will get caught. But generally, this is a team that's gone from, I would say, for example, we're A. We now looking at like a sort of S or something. We have made such a massive leap. You've got to be happy with the way things have gone so far.
Going back to the Middlesbrough guy,
Yeah,
it's very congested in the middle of the park. Supposed to get into the wide areas.
yeah. Well, they packed to the middle of the park, and like Johnny House, and they can see danger, and he's an experienced player. So they keep the ball in the middle of the park as well, but they've got 2 wing backs as well, and that was blocking up our wide areas because our outlets usually we keep the ball, but our outlet is usually either Luca Dean, Moreno, or Matty Cash. And Konza, when he plays at right back, he comes out with the ball at times, but not as much as Matty Cash would do. And generally, we've got the ball in midfield. We have good ability in midfield to keep the ball, but they try and swamp you nowadays. And I think a lot more teams will try and do that if they can. Either play the centre backs, 3 centre backs, or they will try and swamp the midfield and stop Villa getting their passing game going. They'll try and make Villa, because Unai hates Villa to just give away possession. He wants to keep the ball. He wants to keep control of the game. Now teams will look at us and think, right, we've got to make them knock the ball longer. We've got to make them. I can't remember what game it was. It might have been Forest. We tried to hit Ollie Watkins in one, and we couldn't retain possession, and we got caught. But we were chasing the game. We 1-0 down after about 8 minutes. But different problems, different teams, but we will find different solutions. Now I'm more comfortable now and confident now watching this team this season and last season that we will find a solution. It won't happen all the time, but we will find solutions because they're a better team now. They're better players. They're more developed, and they seem to enjoy what they're doing. They believe in what they're trying to do, and they believe what they're trying to do will get them results 9 times out of 10.
In the game, there are a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, Zaniolo, he was lucky he was.
Yeah. I think, I've been waxing on about this kid for a little while. Like, he's built like a centre forward. He's got great feet as well. Obviously, he plays out wide, but his 2 goals he scored, they're centre forward goals at the edge of the 6-yard box. The first one, the good touch on the finish, and the second one was the glancing header, shades of Alan Gilzine or something like that. It was quality. The fella is a good player, and I'm just hoping that now he's got a couple of goals, his game will keep going and keep developing because he has all the tools to be a fantastic player for this football club. And he's on loan. Yeah, exactly. But you look at them and think, when he came, he looks a good footballer. In fact, we played, was it Hibernian? He came off the bench and he picked the ball up and he danced between 2 players, carried the ball, got into the penalty area, sort of dropped the shoulder on the keeper, and he just took a touch too long. Keeper went down, and all of a sudden he's going to walk into the empty net, and the lad got a touch on it, and he ended up going out for a corner. And that would have been a wonderful start to his career. And I believe he'd have gone from step to step, from one stage to the next one. But he didn't get the goal. And the last, say, 5-6 games ago, he's shooting from ridiculous angles now because he wants to get that goal. All of a sudden, he gets 2 in 2 games, and now he looks a lot more confident.
You got in the game, you had Gerrard a few chances. We just showed you in the Gerrard had a few chances.
Yeah.
It shows
Centre forward. Yeah, he's a centre forward. Centre forwards will get chances, will miss goals, but he's had. Well, I don't know if he's had problems, but there's been rumours of problems, and he took himself off the Instagram and bits and bobs. But lately, when he's come off the bench, he's looked fiery. He's looked like he's up for it. He wants to get around people. He got us a penalty the other day, but he will get chances. Every centre forward, I know. I was listening to Gary Lineker talk the other day. Ian Rush missed chances, Gary Lineker missed chances, Kenny Dalglish missed chances, but they keep going. Duran will miss chances, but he will score goals. Get him in the right areas, like Ollie Watkins, score goals.
And credit to Matty Cash.
Yeah.
Does it know to deflect your goal? It don't matter, they all count.
Exactly. At the end of the day, Matty Cash has got himself. You watch the short corner. By the time it comes to him, he makes a space. The ball's there. He makes a space to receive the ball at his feet, has a shot. The lad Latilar's coming to shut him down, but he's turned his back. Ball took a deflection off him, ended up in the goal. Now, you could say the keeper didn't move his feet quick enough to get a touch on it, but you say that the centre forward who came out to try and defend turned his back on it. There's a load of things, but Matty Cash, without him taking the shots, there's no chance of us getting a goal. Matty Cash decides, out my feet, I'm going to have a striker goal. He has been in and out of the team the last for a little bit now, and Konza's been playing right back. Now, for me, Konza is he's an international class centre half. He's been good enough to be picked for his country. So I'm thinking, well, why don't we play him? Why don't we play him centre back? But we have got centre backs as well, and maybe he's giving Matty Cash a break as well. Because if Matty Cash plays every game, he'll burn out. So it could be that, could be whatever. But Konza's done ever so well. But Matty Cash, for me, excellent fullback, got his goal, thoroughly deserved it. Worked ever so hard as well. Loves the challenge, loves the tackle. But he's decent. And if we can get some competition from Matty Cash as well, then Konza can go fight it out with the others at centre back. And I believe he'll win that battle as well, because I think Konza's a very, very good footballer.
Well, you're going to just keep shooting, still the breakthrough.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, not a lot of teams now try and work the perfect opportunity to get the perfect goal. When you watch Man City play, they'll always work it, and they'll go into the midfield, they go out to the wingers, the winger will cut his side, and they'll play into the centre forward, or they'll get to the byline, pull it back. It's like a formula. But every now and again, like Franz Beckenbauer's just passed, he was saying, if you get a chance, they did more training on shooting from 30 yards than anything. And Chrissy Waller was talking about this the other day when he was at Marseille. He made them shoot from distances, because if you don't shoot, you're never going to score. But you shoot from all areas. Exactly. Every opportunity you get. I mean, not to the point of ridiculous. John Duran, when he first come, when there was that little rumours about problems and that, John Duran was coming off the bench and he was just shooting from the ridiculous angles. But he's hungry, wants to score goals. So he'll have a shot at goal. You should never have a go at people for wanting to score a goal. They say if you don't buy a ticket, you can't win a raffle. End of the day, ball comes to me 30 yards from goal. Well, not me, but Matty Cash. Then fair enough, you got to have a shot.
So in the game, who was your man of the match against Middlesbrough?
Middlesbrough.
Not many stood out, really.
No, there wasn't. I mean, Daz asked me about the game before as well, and I said half time, no one's been outstanding, but we did the job. In fact, more to think about it now, I suppose you'd end up giving it to someone like Matty Cash because of the goal. But generally, we were all competent. We did the job. We played okay. But I didn't think there was anybody outstanding. I think Longley, his ability of the ball is very good. He's no Pau Torres, but he's very good with the ball. So I just think we did okay. Moreno looks like he's coming back into himself. We look. People were saying that we looked tired a few games ago. Now, if you tell people they're tired all the time, they will. They'll say, "Oh, well, I'm knackered." So I don't believe the tired is mental. At the end of the day, mentally, you will physically be tired at times, but if you allow people to let you think you're mentally tired, then you will get mentally tired. I just think that we've dropped off a level. I think we expended so much energy and so much emotion in the Man City and the Arsenal game that it took a while to catch up with us. But they'll get a break now after Sunday, and I think they'll be fine. We'll be all right.
Well, one thing is an average performance. You know who I'll pick? Kamara.
He showed exactly why we missed him over the 3 games. When he got suspended and he got the 3-game ban, everyone's looking at the game and saying, the others will get bought by without him, but Man United will be a difficult one. As it turned out, we're 2-0 up. We coached him without playing particularly well at Man United. That was the game Daz asked me at half-time. And I didn't think anyone had played brilliantly well that day. But Kamara, I think he's an excellent player. I mean, Douglas Luiz has got most of the credit this year and most of the plaudits. But without Kamara by the side of him, Kamara's different class. The two of them. And that's why when Tielemans couldn't get in the team, and people are saying Tielemans is not happy, them two raised their level. So they're playing at a better level now. So Tielemans, obviously, it's going to be difficult to get in the team. But once you get in the team, you'll be playing at such a level as well that it takes the club forward or the team forward. So competition for places is brilliant. But I think Kamara has been outstanding this year. I think Pau Torres, once he got the grips with playing in the league, has been outstanding. But generally, as a team, you can't pick fault with most of them because they've started the season. Me and you were sitting there talking about the start of the season. Where do you think we'll go? Everyone's saying, well, if they can finish in the top 6 or 7, they do all right. We are blowing the thing away at the minute. And it's only the Man City and the Arsenal game that people are going now. I tell you what, Villa are not bad. Everyone that watched us over the 3 months before that, everyone went away going, I tell you what, they're not a bad side. But all of a sudden, like, because it was those 2 games in the space of a week, we was headline news. But I think this team's done ever so well, and I think this team can develop again. He might buy some people in the window. I'd like to think he would do, but that could make us even stronger. You've got competition for places all over the place. Your team can only get better.
Again, this team that we're witnessing history.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying one day when we're doing a radio thing, like I saw the Liverpool team the other day, and Klopp. I don't know if he was playing mind games a little bit with the fans and that, but he wanted them to make more noise and, join in with it and cheer the boys and that. But they've got to the point where they've not won so much, but they've been up in that echelons for a few years now. That all of a sudden they're sort of sitting there and going, go on then, entertain me. What are you going to do today? Whereas like we're going to the games now. We're seeing our team play, and we are getting right behind the team. When they're struggling a little bit at Arsenal, get right behind the team, and it lifts the players again. We're all in this together. This is the journey. If say like Unai continues to do as well as he's done, and we end up winning the Conference League, and then we win the League Cup or the FA Cup, and we won a couple of cups, I still believe the fans will be so made up with what's gone on that I don't believe Villa Park will ever get to the point where we're sitting there and going, this is okay. But, when they score 2 or 3 goals, we'll clap a little bit then. We'll get right into it, because this, as you say, is history making. It's fantastic. It's enjoyable. And for the first time in years, we go and watch our team play, knowing that whoever we're playing will be competitive. We'll give them a game, and 9 times out of 10, a lot of times we will get a chance of getting a good result against them. There's nowhere we go nowadays. And I remember Di Matteo, I can't remember what game it was, but I was doing a radio and we got beat. And he went, it's up 2nd or 3rd game in the championship. Yeah. He went, I didn't see that coming. Now, we won't say that now, because we're confident. We're confident. We compete with everybody. So occasionally you will get beat, but it's not like one of them where you walk in and you get battered 5 or something like that, and you're like, geez, where did that come from? Everybody played badly, and we don't look like organised. And that we are organised. We know what the manager wants them to do. They know their jobs. They believe in the structure. This thing, it's quite exciting when you look at it, and you can't wait to the next game, because there's always a chance. Roll on Everton. You want to watch the game. You want to play the game. You want to be part of it. And this thing's going so well. I can hear myself rambling now. So stop me now, chat. I'm getting carried away with it.
Do you know what I describe Villa as?
The
sleeping giant.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. You can't help but enjoy. I mean, when you see how far we've come, it's you can't. There'd be something wrong with you if you couldn't enjoy this now, because like, you've seen some obviously dreadful years. You've seen relegation, and we was people kept saying circling the drain. I remember every season I'd go and I'd be in the whole suite, and the lady in there used to say to me, we won't go down this year, will we? After the first sort of 8 or 9 games. And I was like, no, there's 3 teams worse than us, we'll be all right. But that was the level of that's the limit where we were going. Maybe have a run in the cup, but generally we'd stay in the division because there were 3 teams worse than us. Eventually, we were one of the worst teams and we had to go down. But it's the best thing that's happened to us. And now we look from the Championship, and Dino did a magnificent job, get us in the Premier League, get us secure in the Premier League. Then Unai comes in and takes it on to another level. The thing, you can't help but enjoy it. There'd be something wrong with you if you couldn't enjoy this, because this is a special time.
And sleeping giants being broken.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear myself talking, and I can hear how excited I get about the whole thing. And because, like yourself, we've watched a lot from a long way, a long time.
Relegation and all that as well. Yeah.
So now you've got to enjoy this. And occasionally, every now and again, like Newcastle starting the season, we get beat 5-1. We got a ridiculously high line, but that educates me, and Unai educates us all into the fact that we can play, because I've always been taught, play the high line, but you have to have pressure on the ball. Sometimes we don't have pressure on the ball. We still play the high line, and most of the time we get away with it. And sometimes we get the ball and we pass it and we pass it and we pass it. And I'm like, I'm getting forward. and he's educated me to find the openings. But when we get the chance, when it gets to the likes of Diaby, Ollie Watkins, Zaniolo, and Leon Bailey, who's been different class, then all of a sudden we speed it up and we cause a problem. You can't help but enjoy this. We are enjoyable team to watch. Everybody, and Martin Keown was down the last game and we was just chatting before the game, and he said, like, people enjoy watching Aston Villa now because not everybody's second favourite team, but everybody's liking what we're doing. They're enjoying what we're doing. They're getting pleasure from what we're doing, and that's down to the manager who's walked in and from day one he's impressed upon him what he wants from them. And there's been the odd hiccup like Stevenage or whatever, but generally you have to say. You have to give. I think Dad said to me, "What mark would you give him?" And I think I said a B plus. And B plus, you're a hard taskmaster. But you got to leave space to win the cup and say an A. So you don't want to get too carried away. But this has been absolutely superb so far.
I mean, Unai Emery is an elite manager.
Yeah. I mean, he went to Paris Saint-Germain, and he was at Arsenal obviously as well. And like people, the funny thing about Unai Emery, he went to Arsenal. And he went to the board, and he's been there a few months. And he said to the board, right, he's got a list of 5 players. He says, right, these 5 players have to go because they're bad influence in the dressing room. They're not leaders at all. They're causing us problems as a team. They have to go. So the board look at this anyway. One thing leads to another. And Unai Emery, if you're not much down the line, loses his job. Arteta comes in. Arteta has a job. Within a few months, Arteta goes with the same list of these 5 players. They're going to go. They're out. All of a sudden, the club is not healthy. It's healthier. They start winning games. Unai Emery is a top manager. He went to Paris Saint-Germain, and I defy anybody to go to Paris Saint-Germain and win consistently because Unai Emery works with players, coaches players, develops players. Most of the players at Paris Saint-Germain, and this would be like this at Real Madrid and places like that, they're good enough to win games anyway. So they're not going to. You might see something to teach them or coach them. But are they going to really listen? Because they're sitting there, they're multimillionaires, and actually they know everything. So Unai Emery is going to find it difficult at Paris Saint-Germain to improve players because they don't want to listen. Yet he comes to a club like Aston Villa, they want to listen.
He goes. They don't change the way. They don't change the way they play.
Yeah.
Now, you stick to it.
Manager's got a way of playing. He's got a structure that you can always hang at the back of the structure because if you hold on to the structure, we played the way you want you to play. The chances are we will win games. In that structure, there's scope to develop. There's scope for players like your Diabys who can bring you a little bit of, we'll sprinkle some stardust on it, like Zaniolo, Leon Bailey, who can do that little something different. But the structure, we keep the ball, we move the ball, we work openings, we can score from set pieces, we can score from working openings as well. But Leon Bailey can give you a little something else to release Ollie Watkins, and all of a sudden, that's something different in your locker as well. So he's got the structure. He is an elite manager, and he's now proving to everybody because this fella, if you look at his record, he's shown he's an elite manager before he went to Arsenal, before he went to Paris Saint-Germain. He showed how good he was. But it's like anything, you lose your job. You get sacked in a club, rightly or wrongly, and people doubt you. Oh, it ain't all that. And people say, well, the language barrier and all that. He has shown now football's a universal language. His English has got better, but he can impress upon him what he wants. And the communication skills, I think we played Man United, one of the first games when he came in. Communication skills to get the message across within a short space of time must be good because we have improved and we've improved and improved and improved.
What about our success? Do you think we can win the FA Cup?
I like to think we'll be in the shout. Funny thing is, you never say, oh, we'll win this, we'll win that, when it's cup competition because anything could happen. You could get a dodgy decision, like, the linesman could make a decision, referee could make something could go against you. You could play great football, and because the jeopardy of the cup is like, it could go horribly wrong, or it could work out for you. So I wouldn't say we definitely win the cup, but we haven't got a chance. We should be in the conversation. It all depends who you get drawn against as well. But we got a very, very good chance of competing in all the competitions we're in this season. Like that we left in, like you say, we got the FA Cup. We're in the conference. Is it called Conference League?
Conference League,
yeah. I keeps changing, like Conference League and the league. We're in contention. I'd say to win it, but we're in around it, and we've got half a chance to do it. So we'll see how the next 10, 12 games go. Then all of a sudden you can sit back if end of February, early March, you could say, I tell you what, we've got a chance of this. But it's all right. Start of the season, yeah, everyone's going to win the league. They're going to win the cup or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
20 games on, then you look at it and think, I tell you what, we've got half a chance. And now you're looking at us now and thinking, we could finish this season. This could be one of the best seasons Aston Villa have had for a long, long time.
Well, you know, Emery, he wants to master the FA Cup.
Yeah.
He hasn't got the best record.
No, not in the FA Cup, but he's a cup manager. He's won European competitions, cup competitions. He's won that before. So he knows how to cope with that. He knows how to work with teams punching above their weight in the Spanish leagues. He knows how to do that. And he's doing all that with Aston Villa. So he'll be looking and thinking, yeah, we can compete in the cup. As I say, it all depends on the draw. And you're looking at the Stevenage thing last year, like, we didn't play particularly well against Stevenage. And they held on and they sat in there and all that. But we 1-0 up. 90 seconds later, just before the end, we're 2-1 down. That's the way the cup can go sometimes. People switch off, forget their jobs, bang. Now, as long as things go, not according to plan, but the way the manager wants them to go, the way he sees the games, we've got a great chance. I mean, I would never turn around and go, we're definitely going to win that, but we have a good chance of competing in the cups. And like you say, Unai Emery, he's a cup manager, so the chances are we've got a very, very good chance in that. And the good thing is, whatever we're playing, the attention to detail is fantastic. As long as the attention to detail is as good as it has been, and it will be, then we got a chance, not just the cup, but league, and also we got a chance. And that, as a Villa fan, after the years we've had, I'm saying it like, it's been terrible, but after all the years, this is a magnificent thing to be able to sit there now. We're sitting there, it's just after Christmas, and we go, yeah, we're in the FA Cup.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. I mean, it's very exciting. The whole thing is so exciting now. And I can hear myself talking and I'm rambling, like, so just stop me if I go to keep going on, like. But yeah, it's exciting. It's brilliant. It's something to look forward to, and it's almost you can't wait now for the next game. It's like Sunday, because it's a few days away now. But yeah, can't wait to get it on.
Well, you know, Emery's done really well, Alf. He's managed the cup competitions.
Yeah.
Well, with maintaining the league position.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. A lot of teams. Like Brighton played in the Europa League and they played on a Thursday and they struggled on the Sunday. Like, we seem to have been able to cope pretty well. I think the Forest game's the one which was not a shock, but the Forest scored the first goal, and all of a sudden we had a problem. But generally, like Unai Emery, but he's as you said, he's an elite manager, and his attention to detail is fantastic. So therefore, it shouldn't be a surprise that he's back. He's looking around and he's saying, "Okay, we'll do this, and he's working with players, and he's making sure that no one's playing too much football by Christmas. He's trying to spread it around so people get games. And even times when we've gone, he's got to go strong today, and he's gone with what you say fringe players, but they've got to get games as well, because you've got to raise the level of quality in the squad. And as it's worked out nicely, we play games in the Conference League, we've won games where we've competed, and we've ended up, and worst ways, throwing lots of Ollie Watkins in them on for 20 minutes to get a run out, just to keep everything ticking over. Everything they've thought about, they've covered every base at the minute, and long may it continue.
Well, Emery, it's been amazing 12 months. But what more do you want to see from this team the next 12 months? What do we need to do?
As a fan, we need to win. Well, we need to just keep winning at this level, because we're averaging 2 points a game.
You're on second in the league.
Yeah, so therefore you're gonna be second, third, first, second, third. You're gonna do well if you can keep that going. Like, but I'd love to see us win a cup. But I just want us to continue in this vein, because so many. If we'll fall away like Newcastle did in the last couple of months, everyone's oh yeah, flash in the pan. There was a lot of noise about them, and people thought they were going to do the But we can see what's happened. We can see the development. We can see the improvement. We can see this isn't a flash in the pan. This isn't 2 or 3 game win and then all of a sudden we get beat 7. This is a thing that's developed. We have got the situation now where it's gone so well this year. And this time last year, if we'd have had this conversation, we'd have both said, mid-table, finishing because we was on a very good relegation. We'd have said mid-table. Now we finished in a position for the Conference League. Now we're saying, well, I tell you what, Champions League. We get in the Champions League positions, then we've made massive progress. End of the season, you judge on your progress where you finish. Now, I believe we're quality and ability enough to get into the Champions League for next season. But as I said, if we're around, if March, we're first, second, or second or third, we're in the top three, say around March, surely
Total
as
rest?
you've got to go for it. You've got to say, well, hang on a minute, because the chance to win anything don't come around that often. You got a chance, and we're in a position. Then you got to go for it. But to get there, we've got to get from here to March and win enough games and keep playing well, not have any injuries, and or cope with the more injuries that we've had. So yeah, it's all there for us. But I don't want to get carried away in that respect. So we're going to win this, we're going to win that. We are setting ourselves up nicely for a great end of the season. We set ourselves up nicely by March for a great end of the season. Then we be competing in all the competitions. We compete in all the competitions. We got a chance of winning at least one of them.
Because what we're going to do is keep being consistent.
Yeah.
Look at Emery. He never rests on his laurels. Always wants to improve.
That's how, like Klopp, like Fergie back in the day, that's how he has become an elite manager, because a lot of managers or a lot of people win a few games and think we can chill a bit now, like, and we start planning for next season, we can do this, we can do that. He wants to win this game, wants to win the next game, wants to win the game after. There's 2 games there coming up, we got to win them, like, and he's looking at juggling the team as well, like, he will not rest. He wants to win games. He loves winning games. And even when we win games, he's always finding the things we did wrong or the things we can improve upon. His attention to detail is fantastic. Can only help a team like, but yeah, he wants to win. He wants to improve. And that, he won't allow the players to rest on their laurels. If you want to rest on your laurels, then you find yourself out of the team. And there's enough players waiting to get a spot in the team. So therefore, this place is buzzing. And like, if I'm a player in this team in a minute, I want to be my toes all the time, because I know I'll drop my standards. He might let me have the odd couple of bad games, but then it'll be like, big man, come here, need a word. And all of a sudden you're out of the team. And someone else is taking your place. If someone takes your place in the team in a minute, you might not get it back for a while. So you've got to be on your top form all the time.
I want us to win a trophy.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. But like I said, to win a trophy, we've got to get to around February, March, continuing this form that we've been in and continuing the rate of points we've been getting, and obviously playing in the cups and whatever. If we continue the way we've been doing, then we've got a great chance. But it's all right, people saying, oh, we'll win a cup like October. October, you can't win none. But now, you can't win either at Christmas as well, just after Christmas. But by March time, you're looking at the running now with 6 or 8 games to go. You're looking at that. And if you're in a cup semi-final, the European Cup semi-final, and then you're second in the league, you're going to come away with something. You'd be very unfortunate to go away with nothing. And looking at this team, we get ourselves to that position where we can go and attack it the last couple of months of the season. We got to come away with something.
1996. That's when I was born.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
For all fans, but the nature of a fan is disappointment. We support our team and we get carried away. Our team win a couple of games and we get carried away and then we get disappointed. If something happens and we get disappointed. We've had this for years and years. This is the first concentrated run for a long, long time where we're winning games, we look competitive, we're winning stuff. And yeah, we want to win something. But like I say, we can't win nothing in December or January, but we can win something March, April, or some, because we're playing in cup semi-finals by then. And then we got a great, if we're in the cup semi-final against teams, you put money on us, you'd fancy us to win it, because you look at the way we play, barring injuries and all that, look at the way we play, we've got a chance of winning something. It's like, for Christmas, it's my grandkids, December the 1st, they want Christmas Day to come. And that's what we're like now. We want to get to that point where we're on the verge of semi-finals and semi-finals and that. But it will come. We keep going in this vein. It will come. We will get our Christmas Day.
I'm going to talk about the Everton game.
Yeah.
What do you expect from Sunday?
I think they'll just be well organised. I mean, I watch Everton play, and Sean Dyche has come in, and I think someone said the other day when they played Burnley, oh, it's just be like watching Burnley play Burnley. But Sean Dyche has done a magnificent job with a club that was going one way. He's turned it around. They're organised, got great discipline about them, great work ethic, got some decent players in there as well. And like, I just looked at them. With Calvert-Lewin's always injured. They did have no focal point. They brought in another couple of strikers now, and Neto's one of them. And all of a sudden, they've got some power up front. But also Jack Harrison, I think, is very good. Anana is excellent. I think they're a good outfit, but I think they're also strong defensively. and I don't think they'll go and try and take the game to Villa as much. I think they'll try and do Villa get a lead on the set piece or something, unless there's a bit of say Garner or someone produces a bit of magic. But I think O'Neill's injured, isn't he? He got on whack the other day, so he might touch and go. But they've not got a lot of flair. Harrison's got the flair in that team. He's a very, very good footballer. Calvert-Lewin is a focal point and can score goals if they get the right delivery into the box. But they are a functional side. Whereas, like, you look at us, we can create opportunities and that. They don't create an awful lot. They work hard, they defend well, they break forward, they've got set pieces, but they don't, there's not too much flair about them where you say, oh, but they're an organised team and they will cause us problems, especially with the Everton fans behind them as well. They will make a noise, they will try and get into us, and I imagine it'll be quite physical. But you're looking at an organised side that is difficult, very difficult to play against on set pieces. But I'd look at us and I'd fancy us to win the game. Even if it comes to a battle, I'd still fancy us to win the game. I think worst ways you come away from Goodison with a point at least.
Because they'll give you an easier way, though.
No.
In this game, though, we need to remain patient.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Well, the one thing about United's side, we do keep the ball and we don't try and force it. And you see on the touchline, if you want someone to risk or reward, plays the ball with a chance of maybe getting something from it, and we give away possession, he goes absolutely mental. Keep holding the ball, keep the ball, work the opening, and he wants to do that. And then once you get it to your Leon Bailey, so they can do a little bit of magic or whatever. But yeah, be patient, and I think we'll be. I think against Everton, I think Everton will sit in there, but when they do come, it will be all guns blazing, as it were. Set pieces, I'll be throwing the ball forward a little bit to Calvert-Lewin, trying to join up with him.
Let's go the most set pieces at that.
What's that?
The most set pieces.
Yeah. I mean,
Everton, I think, yeah.
They are a set piece side, aren't they? I mean, you watch them play, and like I say, there's not a lot of flair. There's not a lot of Harrison, for me, is a very good footballer. O'Neill's a very good footballer, and they can create a little something. And Arna breaks forward and causes problems. Garner's a good footballer, a good passer, and he's got a strike on him as well. But you look at that side, and the way they're built, you just think, no, they are set up to get set pieces. If they get their nose in front from a set piece, occasionally someone will score a goal out of nothing. But generally, this is the team that scores goals from set pieces. So,
Emery.
Yeah.
And Austin McPhee, they've done their homework on the set pieces.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you'll have seen everything Everton's had to offer, unless they come up with something different. And the fair play to Austin McPhee, over the last, I would say, 2-3 months, he's been pulling out different set pieces as well. And they've mixed it up. He's not just gone into the box. Douglas, he's not tried to just put it into the goal in one go. We've tried to get the near post. We've tried to play a lot of short ones as well. We've tried to work the ball at times. We try to different. Yeah. You got to mix it up. And but you look at Everton, they'll have seen what Villa have done. Villa have seen all the set pieces Everton have done. So maybe they come up with something different that catches Villa on the day. But even if we go one down against them, you'd still fancy us to get something from the game.
It's going to be like the Burnley game, I think.
Yeah. Well, as I said, it's like Burnley playing Burnley. This Burnley, Everton side is in the guise of Burnley, as it were. They've got a bit more ability. Yeah. But Sean Dyche is very good at what he does, and he organises his team very well. And people turn their nose up at him, but the fella gets results in the Premier League, and you don't have to all play the same way. Yeah, everyone plays a different way. Sean Dyche plays his way, gets results with it. So you have to give him massive credit for what he's done. But we play a different way, and so the two styles, we have to see which is the best one on Sunday.
So, what is your thoughts about Everton's points deduction?
Well, we'd heard for months that potentially they stood a chance to get in the points deduction. I've listened to stuff and people said that they went to the FA or whatever, or the Premier League, sorry, and we all know that get me words out, like
FFP.
Bendy, yeah. We all know the FFP, the situation with it, and you've got people looking at that. But Everton apparently said, look, if we do this, is that still within the FFP? They reckon that they were told it was, but they also believe that they could sell a lot of players to balance it out. But they have spent a ridiculous amount of money. I think the penalty was harsh, but they was always going to get some kind of penalty. But I also think that this harsh penalty to Everton, I believe that some of the points on appeal will be given back to Everton, but it sets a precedent now because everyone keeps talking about Man City. So you can imagine, in the end, they can say, well, we did that to Everton. So when if they do find Man City guilty, then they can say, oh well, we can do this because Man City have got about 150 charges against them.
And Chelsea.
Yeah. So like, I think they've set a precedent with Everton, but they've done that in a way to set the bar now. But Everton, I believe, on appeal, Everton will get a few points back. And to be fair,
one rule for another.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, Everton they lost to 10 points, and all of a sudden they won the next 3 or 4 games. So they had a great little spur, and I know they've had a setback now, but say good enough to go to stay up. I think they're okay. I think they'll be okay. I think they're well organised. I don't think they'll get battered too many times. I think they'll have enough to stay in the league anyway, regardless of the 10-point deduction. But I believe they will get a few points back.
It's all natural fair play. It's there for a reason.
Yeah.
Overspending and stuff.
Well, if there was no financial fair play and Chelsea bowled in and spent, oh no, they've done that, spent like 3 billion. And all of a sudden, it kind of, I mean, the best teams have always, Man United or whatever, they've always bought the best players. So the best teams have always done okay. But you can't just buy everybody. Like, you know, it's got to be a leveler playing field. The idea was basically to stop people just coming in and buying the league, as it were. Like, but at the end of the day, the fair play thing, it's the way it works. It's supposed to give everyone a fair chance, a fair opportunity.
So they can compete.
Yeah, but everyone knows the rules at the start of the season or the season before. I think you've got 3 years. You can lose so much in 3 years. So you know it's over a 3-year period. So basically, you've got 3 years to get your house in order. Everton obviously didn't. So they paid a price. I think, like I said, it was harsh what the fine, the points deduction and all that. But I do believe it won't end up being that way. They'll get some points back, and they've more or less they've got the points back they lost anyway. So they're in a decent position. Everton will be okay at end of season.
Before natural fair play, Aston Villa, we are sustainable with that.
Yeah. Well, we've sold players, the younger players.
Jack Grealish.
Yeah. Well, Grealish went. We've also Archer went. I'm just trying to think. Philogene Bidace went to Hull.
Yes.
They sold Ramsey as well, and we sold these kids for so much money, but they're classed as because we didn't buy them. They came through the ranks, so that's just pure profit to Aston Villa. So that goes off against your fair play anyway. So like they've done it well. They've organised in what they're trying to do. They've looked at it. They've worked out what they can, what they can't spend, and that's why maybe we won't spend too much in this window. But fair play. But most clubs look to spend their money in the summer anyway. But everyone knows the fair play situation. They've had enough time to do it, to work it out. So bottom line is, like, if you get caught and done on the fair play, you kind of they will get chances. I think Nottingham Forest, they're talking about doing them, but apparently it was a mistake, and they can prove it was a mistake. So fair enough, Nottingham Forest not get away with it, but Nottingham Forest probably won't get done. But if you have 3 years to work out something, then you can't really complain 3 years down the line. Go, oh, I didn't know that was happening, because you've had 3 years, haven't you?
I'll just go and drink, Garry.
Yeah, no problem. I think I'll have one as well. I've been gassing.
I got the wine.
Nice.
We're going to talk about memories.
Yeah.
Everton versus Aston Villa.
Mm-hmm.
What are your good memories from Aston Villa against Goodison Park?
I remember the year we got relegated playing at Goodison Park. And
did you play there?
Yeah. And a little lad came off the bench in the last 15 minutes and started tearing into people. And he had a clash with Mark Walters, who is one of the nicest men in the world. And he got up and he was snarling at Mark Walters. And I was just about, and I went, just settle down, little man. He gave me a bit of abuse. And 2 months later, we signed him. That was a kid called Warren Aspinall, who ended up becoming a good mate of mine at Villa. But Everton was always a difficult place to play. And like I said, the likes of Aspinall and Graham Sharp, there's some very, very good footballers as well. It's always been a difficult place to go and play. But over the years, I think you were saying about the most played game and that. I remember seeing the games on the telly, and I think there was one Ashley. Was it 3-2 when Ashley Young scores a winner in the game
Oh,
went back and forth.
dramatic that was.
Yeah, and that game summed up to how Everton was when Leon Bailey made his first. Was his debut? He come off the bench.
Yeah.
Scored a goal, showed a bit of wonderful skill, got injured, went off, and that just struck me as the Everton games. Everton games, there was always a little something going on. There's always a bit of fire to it. Tony Morley, who's a good mate of mine, obviously he comes to Villa, won the European Cup with Villa, but his family are big Everton people, so it's a massive game for him as well. So he always gets carried away with this Everton game as well. But yeah, it's a game that's always going to evoke good memories. It's a clash. This time it's a clash of styles, but Everton have always been a good game to go and watch, and a lot of people like to see the Villa Everton games. Usually there's something happens in it. It's very interesting. Like there's always a bit of flair or something goes on in it. So
And
yeah, the
Stadium
Everton games. What's that?
Stadium Petrov.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
2-2 draw.
Yeah. I mean, there's loads of different. As a fan, you see loads of games, but the Everton game always had a little something about it. United games, you'd always say, yeah, Villa will play well against United, and then Fergie will throw on two players in the last 10 minutes, and we'll probably get done, or we'll play them in the cup, and Bruno Fernandes will do a ridiculous step over, we'll get a penalty, and they score from the penalty. We go to Old Trafford and we beat Man United 1-0, and they miss a penalty. There's always games where you remember certain things. Everton games always had a little something going on, something to remember, something to get to go back with. And this game will probably be the same. Something will happen in the game where we'll be talking about it after. But Everton games always had a little something special in them.
What's your score prediction on Sunday?
Well, I was going for. I was thinking, like, because Everton are so strong and they're not going to give an awful lot away, I was thinking going for a 1-1 draw. But the more I'm leaning towards it now, I think we might just do them 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2-1 as well.
Yeah. So, yes, put your money on that 2-1 Aston Villa.
Yeah, I'll do a few football bets.
I used to do. I don't bet anymore. My son, he bets a fair bit, but I don't bet anymore. But I used to do Soccer 6 and betting on different results and all that. And I just found that there's always a couple of tips that get me wrong, or that go wrong for me. Like, so I don't bet that much anymore. Like my son does a lot of betting. But yeah, if I was a betting man, I'd bet us winning 2-1 at Goodison.
I want to talk about some off-field matters. What do you make of the Adidas news?
Interesting. I mean, well, I heard about it the other day, and Suarez has run the deal, as it were. Like Chris Heck's been involved in it, and it's been interesting to see what kits they can come up with. But the Castori one was always. There was problems with it from what everyone was saying. The players weren't comfortable with it. The ladies weren't comfortable with it as well. So obviously a change was going to be made. Villa are doing really well. They're competing in a higher echelon now. And so they can obviously work with bigger companies. But we've never been with Adidas before, have we? So this is an interesting one. This is a nice one. Like I'm just be interested to see what they're going to do with the kit, as it were, how they're going to do it. Because obviously Adidas will have their 3 stripes in there somewhere along the line, and I'm just thinking how they're going to work it out. But yeah, I mean, fair play. At the end of the day, as we get better, we will attract more and more people to work out sponsorships with, work out deals with, kit things and all that, because we're doing better, and teams want to be I'll say businesses want to be associated with teams that are doing well. And at the minute we're doing well, so naturally Villa are in a position where they can pick and choose a little bit, and we can say, oh yeah, we'll go with that one, and that one's going to get us more money as a club, which will get us to strengthen the whole area, like the whole infrastructure, as it were. So yeah, I think it's a good shout, and it just be interesting to see how the kit works out.
When I think of Adidas, I think of elite teams.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich.
Well, it's nice, as you say, elite teams. It's nice that Adidas and Villa can enter the conversation now, and we're sort of on that same wavelength. That they're looking at Aston Villa and feeling that if we continue with this vein, bringing in a couple of players and developing and keep going, then we could be classed pretty soon as an elite team. At the minute, it's a bit too early because we've only had best part of a year where we've done what we've done. But we are making headway and we're moving in the right direction.
At Villa Park, because at Villa Park, you might have an Adidas stand.
Yeah,
A bit like what United did in Chelsea.
yeah.
We actually put Adidas as advertising. Get
That'd be
more
worth a
extra
few.
income.
Exactly. I was going to say that'll be a few quid to the club as well. That would work out nice. And I suppose that's an idea. You see, if they try that, you want to throw. Hang on a sec. That was my idea as well. You claim a little bit off that.
Also, what do you make about the club crest?
I've not seen any that stood out to me. I saw a few the other day. My mate Mick's a massive Villa fan. He showed me a couple of the crests, but I didn't see anything. I looked at and thought, oh yeah. So there's a lot of noise about it at the minute. I just show me a couple of, give me a few choices now. I know there's been a few options, and I'm not seeing too many of them myself. But
You know what I like?
this seems to be going on for a while, doesn't it?
I like the standalone lion.
Yeah. Well, I'll get my lad to show me that because he showed me. He showed me. I mean, mate Mick showed me a load of different ones and that. And I'm not really seen one and thought, oh, I'll have that. But you like the lion, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. And also, we're the 150th anniversary soon.
Yeah. Well, that would tie.
It'd be nice for that.
Yeah. That would tie nicely. To be fair, that'd be a good shout.
Well, one more question, Gary.
Yeah, sure.
What do you think? We're going to do any business in the window, do you think?
Yeah, well, I think everybody's been saying the same sort of thing. Ollie Watkins has been, I can't get this right, he's either been injured, he's missed 5 games in 4 years or 4 games in 5 years. So that strikes me that if we lose Ollie Watkins, we might lose him for 6 weeks. John Duran carried a team for 6 weeks without Ollie Watkins. So you need competition there just in case one of them get injured. So we're looking at centre forward. I'm also looking at
right back.
Yeah, because Matty Cash and Cons have been battling it out as well. Matty Cash, say going into the last stage of the season, we need another body, but Matty Cash needs competition, so we need definitely a right back, definitely a centre forward. I think in most other areas, I think we've been linked with the goalkeepers Kenneth Ngongi for Hellas Verona's, who's a centre forward who can play in any of the 3 positions up front. So if that one goes through, that's a decent opportunity, a decent shout, to be fair. But yeah, defensively, I think we've got enough. Midfield-wise, we seem to have enough.
I don't think we're doing much.
No. I think, like most teams say they keep their powder dry. Unless you're Man United or you're someone and you're struggling, you're like, hang on a minute, we're going to throw some money at it. Most teams have got their players now. They ain't going to go mad and buy 2, 3, 4 players. But Aston Villa, them 2 positions are positions we've all looked at all season, and we've all felt the same way. Right back for competition for cash, and a centre forward for competition for Ollie Watkins. So them positions make sense to me. And if we can't get them, when in our first came and we thought he was going to bring in 3 or 4 players, and he was like, well, if we can't get them in last Christmas, he said, we'll get them in the summer. There's no problem. I will work with the players. And he was quite relaxed about it, as long as the manager's relaxed, because normally a manager's uptight because he wants players in because he knows there's a problem. He's got to rectify the problem as quick as. I was quite relaxed about it at the minute because he feels what he's got is strong enough to keep competing. If we can add to it, that's brilliant. But yeah, centre forward and the fullback, they're priorities for me. Whether they're done in the summer or they're done at Christmas, but we need to do Christmas, January window, we need to do.
We're going to look at some live comments.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just have a little look through, see what ones we got. Thank you everyone for all your great comments. Oh yeah, if you get, let's just go down a bit more. Let's just have a little look. If you could just go down a little bit more. Let's have a little look. We've got quite a few actually tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Michael Huggins. Yeah, Chad, can I ask? Gary, I remember you playing from the back in the day.
Yeah.
What was it like playing against the team you support?
It was brilliant. It was as a kid at Kings Heath, born in Kings Heath. I ended up, my Uncle Charlie brought me to Aston Villa when they were in the 3rd division. And it was my day out, and they also said, listen, if you behave yourself, because I must have been a complete pain, but they said, if you behave yourself, we bring you back. I didn't come back to them many times to start with, but eventually, my dad, I came and seen Villa play Santos, and from then, like, I was a Villa fan. I want to support the Villa. I take interest in Villa. My brother, all my family are. So to get a chance to play for the team that I supported all the years was brilliant. It's something that you kind of hope would happen, but you don't imagine it's really going to happen for you. And the chance it happened for me, and I was made up with it. I was only at Villa for 2.5 years, I think. In the end, I fell out with Graham Taylor, but then doesn't everybody? But yeah, at the end of the day, it was one of my dreams to do that. I got a chance to do it. It was brilliant. I love the fact that I played for the club I support.
I mean, it's an incredible moment.
Yeah. I mean, making my debut was a brilliant moment. Scoring my first goal. We played at Anfield, and we drew 3-3 with Liverpool at Anfield, and that was Liverpool were the best team by far in the league that time, and we were on the verge of getting relegated. But we scored 3 goals. I got one of them. Took the lead 3 times. They equalised, and if we'd have been playing another 5 minutes, they would have probably got the winner. At the end of the game, we went to the Villa fans, and the love they gave us was absolutely fantastic. And that was one of my first memories as a player as a Villa player, and it just stayed with me. The support you get, the away support, Aston Villa is second to none. It's absolutely unbelievable. Even the year we got relegated, the support a few years ago, the support the team had away from home was unrivaled. It's fantastic, and that just a mark of the fans that even when the team's not doing well, they are still behind them. They still back them. So yeah, I got great memories. I achieved my dream was to play for Aston Villa. I achieved my dream. I can't complain. I'm happy. I had a result.
You have some very good memories.
Yeah, I had great memories. I made a lot of great friends all through my career, but loads when I came to Villa, like Alan McInally and people like that, really good mates. And we're still all friends now. And so yeah, so that bond we had of the team that got promoted, we all stuck together. We're still mates and that. And like yeah, we've got great memories, great stories, great things that happened. Me and Macca did a couple of Q&As before Christmas, telling all the stories that went on. Most of them, too risque for the likes of yourself to be listening to. But that sort of thing, we was telling stories and we were having a laugh, and it was great. And it's just, me and Macca might not speak for 3-4 months. We see each other, bang, we just kick off. Martin Keown the other day, same again, like Tony Daly, who I see on a regular basis. We just all good mates. And I made some great mates. I got to play for the club I supported, and nicked a couple of goals for them. So yeah, I had a result. I love it.
I'm gonna bring this episode to a close. So can you just go the bottom left part of it? Well, thank you everyone for watching. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the channel, give it a like and share. Remember to make sure to keep your post notifications turned on. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Also, everyone, make sure to keep an eye on my AVFC weekly recap, which will be recorded at the beginning of next week. Thank you so much, Gary, for your time.
No problem, Chad. Enjoyed it. Cheers, kid.
Well, I'm going to wrap up this episode with Up the Villa.
Too right. Up the Villa.